What links would you go to in order to save your family pet? Your life savings, your family car, or home? The good news is that most do not have to go to such an extent in order to save a beloved pet or any pet at all. Many adoption agencies ask for a mere $1 a day donation, with some being less. But with the ever-growing animal community, there are many unowned pets who suffer daily without food, water, or medical treatment. These are the precious animals who need our help in order to survive. If some are lucky, they are placed into an adoption center where they are given a grace period most of the time. And after that grace period, pets are euthanized, meaning they are killed in a humane way. Adoption centers quickly become overfilled and thus resort to euthanizing an array of animals to prevent becoming overcrowded. A struggle some animals face in life are the clipping of their ears, tails, and claws. Inexperienced pet owners, influenced by other pet owners, tend to have their animals' ears and tails cut. This causes damages I will at some point further elaborate on. There are many things that differentiate the experience of buying a dog from a breeder versus adopting from a shelter. The main differences include the major price difference, as well as incomplete medical records, which I will also further explain. There are undoubtedly pros and cons when looking at buying from a breeder versus adopting from a shelter, which makes the decision ultimately come down to the buyer/adoptee's knowledge of the animal community. Duet 2020. We've all seen the ASPCA, American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, commercials on TV. Sad montages of malnourished and abused animals paired with tragic orchestral music are not uncommon to see while flipping through channels. These commercials are dramatized and purposely made to yank at one's heartstrings in order to inspire actual change in the animal community. Asking for donations in order to stay afloat, the ASPCA, which is a very well-known animal rescue organization, starts at just 63 cents a day, and rates go up depending on one's financial stability or comfortability. ASPCA 2021. This does not come as a surprise to any, as many adoption shelters are consistently behind in the upkeep of the animals that they maintain because of monetary issues. Seeking financial help from ordinary people helps to fund the animal community and make sure animals being brought into shelters are properly cared for. While the ASPCA is not a great animal rescue organization, it did pave the way for many others' existences. The ASPCA was founded in 1866 in New York and is the first humane society in North America. What followed are multitudes of more foundations, such as Animal Aid Unlimited, Humane Society International, and more. Since then, the treatment of household pets, reptiles, and even livestock has drastically improved. What hasn't improved is the population of the animal community. At any given moment, it is estimated that there are roughly 70 million stray animals in the United States of America. PEPLCO 2020. The heartbreaking fact of this number is that more than half, if not the vast majority, of these animals will die of starvation, neglect, disease, or by the hand of us through euthanizing them. While it is not expected for someone to be able to knock that number down solely by donating $1 a day, it is emphasized that supporting animal rescue organizations in their excursions to limit animal homelessness is one of the best ways to start. Another way to help the animal community outside of donating to an adoption shelter is to stop the cropping of tails, ears, and process of declawing. Some owners do it to show dogs and certain breeds in order to make them more appealing to judges and other dog owners in general, while others crop their pets' ears and tails for health reasons. There is no majority rules opinion, and as dog breeders and show owners avidly defend the clipping of ears, tails, and claws, just as avidly as those who are against it oppose it. Based off of the extensive research I've since conducted, I've found that the clipping of dogs' ears and tails cause deeply excruciating pain and are more so not necessary. Noes 2017. The procedure of clipping a dog's ears goes as follows. A puppy, typically 6 to 12 weeks of age, is put under anesthesia. The veterinarian then cuts the floppy parts of said dog's ears until the desired shape. After, the dog's ears are taped to an extremely firm and upright surface, where they're bandaged together to heal for the next 4 to 6 weeks. This is an extremely painful surgery for a dog to undergo. This then poses the question of why owners do this to their dogs. On one side of the debate, it is said that the cropping or cutting of dogs' ears reduces the risk of infection. On the other side of the debate, it is said that doing so does not actually reduce the risk of infection, and instead it actually poses more health risks. If a dog's ear were to be cut wrongly or in a way that introduces further threat to the animal, there are a multitude of health issues that can occur. The ears can continue to bleed for weeks, if not lifelong, after the surgery. The dog can suffer hearing loss, and even death can occur if the ear were to become infected. SPCH1315. The surgery itself poses much more risk to the animal than what the actual reason for the surgery ever would. Declawing of cats. The declawing of cats is particularly known to occur in homes where children live. Parents tend to fear for their child's safety and end up going through with the process. This process entails amputating the cat at the last bone of each toe and surgically gluing the skin back together. This is the equivalent of cutting each human's fingers at the end of the last knuckle. Lyle, 2020. This is a cruel and unnecessary surgery for cats. Docking a dog's tail, namely cattle dogs or dogs who work on farms or in spaces where they might have their tails regularly broken, is a case-by-case basis as to determining whether it is necessary or not. Docking a dog's tail means cutting in between each tailbone to shorten the overall length. Cruiser, 2020. It is an extremely painful surgery for newborn puppies to undergo, being as they cannot be under anesthesia when the surgery is typically performed. Many show dog owners find it necessary to do this to make the dogs more appealing to judges. The only acceptable and necessary time a dog's tail should be amputated, cut, or docked is if they are a cattle dog or something of the sort. This is because other larger animals will step on the dog's tail and break it time and time again. Thus, having the surgery performed on those dogs make it beneficial for them. There are many reasons you should adopt from an animal shelter rather than buy from a breeder. This first reason being that there are millions of homeless stray animals in the world who need our help and will soon perish without us. Buying from a breeder just means you are giving a premeditated birth, a privileged life that so many others already deserve. Another reason to adopt rather than buy from a breeder is the price difference. With breeders, buying the animal may cost upwards of $500 to $3,000, NEF 2020, rather than paying that amount of money. You could easily adopt from an animal shelter the same loving and fun animal for free. Most animal shelters are relatively low in cost, if not free, with prices of a spayed/neutered, vaccinated, and potty-trained animal capping out at around $50. The pros of buying from a breeder would be knowing where the parents of your animal are and having medical records from the day the animal was born. Most shelters cannot retrieve the information on all their sheltered animals due to high volume and the sheer fact that many of the animals were homeless or strays before. These two facts are not beneficial enough to an animal owner to negate the serious problem of the stray animal population. My aim for this speech was to turn your mind away from buying from a breeder and also to open your eyes to many surgical cruelties being performed on animals in the United States of America. There are so many innocent animals out there sleeping in freezing temperatures, rain, and even extreme heat without food or water. Let's do our part in making sure those animals find a loving home like they deserve.